Welcome back to consecutive day 827 of a Diary of a Runpreneur. Remember that this is a part of a fundraiser, so please do give this a subscribe and a share, as the more people we get in front of, the more money we raise. Thanks for your support as always, and let's get started. So, consecutive day 827 of a Diary of a Runpreneur, and it is a beautiful morning. It's been a while since I've done a morning run, and it's beautiful. It's about 20 past 9 in the morning. The sun is so bright, and it's like a cool-ish 19 degrees. So it's absolutely beautiful to run in. Barely any wind, so I couldn't ask for more to set me off on another week and another Monday morning. But yeah, today has all been about my eldest, really. He's 11, so he's just doing his first day at secondary school today, and you kind of have to try and put yourself in, or empathise with him. I try and take myself back to when I went through that journey with him at the same stage as he's going through, when I was a 11-year-old kid. And the reason I try and empathise with him is because he's been to the same primary school as me, and he's going to the same secondary school as I went to. And yeah, I don't know why that's kind of happened. You thought we would have ventured further from the nest. We did, but we came back and we settled in the village I moved to when I was 2. So, but it's a really nice community and we love it here. So we certainly don't regret that decision. But back to the story. Yeah, and you know what? Things obviously change, but I still remember making that journey and the excitement that it had for me, leaving primary school, going into secondary school, and I was just really excited for him. He's a very different personality type to me, so he's a little bit more of a worrier. I think we all worry, and you all have kind of anxiety about massive changes in your life, such as making the transition from primary school to secondary school. You think you're the big fish in a small pond at primary, and then you go, it's almost like you're going back to reception when you go to secondary school. And the added fear is, just when I was walking around the school with him, when he was looking around it initially, I mean, the size of 15, 16-year-olds nowadays is ridiculous. I mean, evolution has got a part to play in that, because I can tell you now, when I was 15, 16, there weren't kids as big as they are today. They are fully grown men and more, some of them. So it's probably even more intimidating making that step when these other students and other pupils are so big compared to he is. So yeah, so you'll probably be a bit anxious about that, but it's good for them. And you know, there was a conversation I had with a friend recently about one of their kids went to a new secondary school in a new town that's being built a couple of miles away from where I live, and their process with the secondary school was they took an intake of year 7s. I think they might be year 9 or year 10 now, but they were the first pupils in the school. They didn't take other year groups, just year 7s. So those year 7s have never had the experience, as they've gone through secondary school, they've come out of primary school being the biggest kids in the school, and then they've gone into secondary school being the biggest kids in the school. And I think you learn a lot from going back to that level where you're the smallest and almost most insignificant at the school, when you start secondary. And it shows you a little bit about respect, food chain, all these types of things, because the school playground's a tough place to grow up on. I mean, I joke with my friends and stuff, but I mean, I was a half Chinese, half English kid, growing up in the 80s and 90s, when, in the 80s in particular, at primary school, that wasn't normal. There was not many mixed race kids at all. Now, mixed race is the norm, you know, and the cultural diversity we have now is amazing, which is phenomenal. But he didn't have those same obstacles that I did. I had those obstacles where, you know, I was different, so I could either be confident and brave and make that difference a real positive thing, or I could have regressed and it would have probably led to more name calling than I was probably subject to. And I say that, there was a bit when I was growing up, but I made it my mission to be not bothered by that, and it's made me a lot more confident. And then people then started thinking it was a bit cool, and and it kind of overcome that. But if I would have been a kid that kind of hid in the shadows, I could have quite easily been a target. And you know, my son's not going to get that. I mean, he doesn't look, well, he does look a little bit mixed race, I suppose, but he's only a quarter Chinese, a quarter Irish, and half English. And the cultural diversity now, as I've just said, is so diverse. It's just normal. So they don't have the same challenges. Well, certainly in my area, where we grow up in, there are obviously areas around the country where, unfortunately, racial discrimination still exists. But hopefully, it's less and less than what it once was. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, but the point of the matter is you learn your place in the food chain, and you develop as a person, and you grow up a lot at secondary school. That's what I found. Well, I was very immature, but I like to think I grew up a lot at secondary school. I'm so excited for them, and to see what the next 5 years holds for them, because all of a sudden they start getting a little bit more independence, more responsibility, and they start changing quite dramatically, personality-wise, from these really needy children that are so reliant on their parents at primary to, you know what, I can start going out, hanging out with my friends, and I can start doing things on my own. And it's lovely to see. It's quite scary as a parent, but yeah, so who knows. So good luck to all of those children making the first days at secondary school from primary. Just enjoy it, you'll have a blast. Anyway, that's it for me today. Remember, this is part of a fundraiser, so do give it a subscribe and a share, which is on my mission to save the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultra marathon. Check the link in the comments below to find out more how you can support it, and thank you for your support as always. Stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you again tomorrow.